Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Thousands of people across the southern tier are getting ready to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday. Our Sonia Ellison spoke to people about their plans and has what you need to know before hitting the road.
It is getting a little busy right now, but it's not too bad. I try to stay off of 80 east-west, and so I will go out of my way and enjoy the mountains.
AAA projects more than 55 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles for this year's Thanksgiving holiday, more than 2% higher than last year. Gas prices are down 29 cents from last Thanksgiving.
I don't pay too much attention because of my hybrid, and I think $3.79 is the highest I've paid.
My son gave me my ticket. Every year he treats me to a trip to Portland.
Sites like FlightGift.com help give the gift that keeps on giving. Even though 2 days before Thanksgiving is the busiest travel time for airlines and the times that tickets are most expensive at airports, the U.S. is still seeing an increase of 6.6% in airline ticket sales during this time.
I was looking out for the weather, though. Doesn't look too good, but it's okay.
From tomorrow night heading into Wednesday, the Northeast could see freezing rain.
Stay off of the busy highways. Don't be in a hurry. That's my advice.
AAA says Wednesday is the overall busiest day to drive with peak hours from 2 to 6 p.m. The best time to travel is before 11 a.m. Those driving this weekend are advised to travel before noon on Saturday and Sunday and avoid travel peaks between 3 and 5 p.m.
And I love Thanksgiving food, so I'm still going to be heading home. I guess make the most of the time that you are with your family since we got to be paying these prices.
Locals aren't letting a little weather and the holiday rush stop them from Turkey Day travels.
The joy of traveling. I love traveling. That's the joy of retirement.
Sonia Ellison, Big Fox News, the Southern Tier.
State police are asking for your help in finding the car involved in a fatal hit and run. Troopers say the driver of a newer model white Volvo semi-truck committed a hit and run that killed John W. Viviano of Sydney. It happened near exit 38 in Bath on the westbound shoulder just off I-86 between the evening of November 17th and early morning of the 18th. Viviano was pronounced deceased at the scene. Anyone with information about the white Volvo semi and its driver are asked to contact the New York State Police at the number on your screen. The Nichols Volunteer Fire Department is hosting a benefit for those who lost horses in the recent Tioga Downs barn fire. On Sunday, December 3rd, there will be a spaghetti dinner and basket auction benefit from 3 to 6 p.m. Those wanting to help by donating baskets for the auction can message the Nichols Fire Department on Facebook. The New York State DEC asks hunters to report their harvest to help keep the deer population in check. The DEC says antlerless deer, or does, are the highest population of deer, but only 16% of hunters in the state last year harvested them. Harvesting does help better prevent deer overpopulation. Though a state law requires hunters to report their harvests, it's estimated less than half of deer hunters reported their harvests in 2022. Turning now to national news, President Biden turns 81 today, but don't expect much of a celebration at the White House. New poll numbers show the president is struggling to win over young voters, and his approval numbers have never been lower. But the campaign says there's still time to turn it around. Doug Luzader has more from Washington.
Well, these new polling numbers confirm what our Fox News poll showed just days ago, that the president is facing some big challenges on both the economy and foreign policy.
You are pardoned.
This is what President Biden will be doing today, pardoning turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving, just as he did last year. What you won't see today is a birthday party.
And by the way, I like kids better than people.
The president and first lady spent yesterday celebrating an early Thanksgiving with service members in Virginia, just hours after NBC News took the wraps off of a new poll.
That is the lowest President Biden has ever measured in our poll in terms of job approval.
Not only does the president struggle with those job approval numbers, but he is now behind former President Donald Trump, although still within the margin of error. And other polls show the president's age is a big concern for voters.
I see real positives for this president.
Delaware Senator Chris Coons co-chairs the Biden re-election campaign, and he says this is all premature until Republicans settle on a candidate.
Head-to-head polls a year out, frankly, don't say much at all. What matters is the elections that just happened. The off-year elections were very positive for Democrats across the country.
And Donald Trump, who's not much younger than Biden, has plenty of legal challenges ahead. But there are questions about just how vigorously Biden can campaign.
The White House is privately worried that this is a campaign that's going to be from the Rose Garden, not from the campaign trail. So that is the big challenge.
As for the president's birthday, we expect him to celebrate it privately later this week in Nantucket. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
One of the biggest names in artificial intelligence dumped from OpenAI, and Microsoft wasting no time in scooping him up. Susan Lee has more.
OpenAI makes ChatGPT, and the reason that we've all been talking about AI, artificial intelligence, over the past year, a shocking boardroom coup that shook Silicon Valley over the weekend. CEO and co-founder Sam Altman blindsided, fired via video link on Friday. The OpenAI board said that he was not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. There are numerous theories on why he was fired, and that includes conflicts of interest with Altman's other private AI ventures. Also concerns that he was pushing speed and profits of AI products ahead of safety considerations. Now, there were talks this weekend to actually bring back Altman as CEO, with him tweeting this photo of him with a guest badge on Sunday at OpenAI headquarters. But this morning, Microsoft confirming they have now hired Altman and other senior OpenAI executives. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella tweeting that we're extremely excited to share the news that Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, together with colleagues, will be joining Microsoft to lead a new advanced AI research team. We know that Microsoft is the largest OpenAI investor. They've invested at least $12 billion, but the first person to actually put money in was Elon Musk, and he tweeted that it's very important for the public to know why the board felt so strongly about their actions. If it was a matter of AI safety, that would affect all of Earth. Also, more intrigue this morning with 500 of the 700 OpenAI staff now threatening to quit, join Altman at Microsoft, and said they want the board to resign and Altman to be reinstated. Even the alleged coup leader says that he now regrets the board's actions and wants to reunite OpenAI. Susan Lee, Fox News in New York.
We have a preview of our holiday weekend forecast next. Plus, taking a look back at the extraordinary life and career of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who died over the weekend at the age of 96. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening and happy Monday. Over the weekend, we did work into some of those rain showers Friday to Saturday that allowed for some of that cooling that kept us more seasonable for November. Now, we're going to continue to have some battles of some roller coaster temperatures. Today did stay a little cooler, as we were at least though underneath the high pressure system that allowed for that sunshine. Now, with those clear skies as we roll through the overnight, it is going to allow for our low temperatures to fall back down into those 20s. And what we'll see is that as we start off the day around those 20s, we will watching is as the next system moves in, will be very temperature dependent, as we will still stay on this like cooler side as the next system moves in, and being slightly cooler, especially near freezing when this next system moves in, it is expected to bring some mixed precipitation. However, this system is bringing some warming, and there will be some drying following it as well that is going to allow for some pleasant conditions into our Turkey Day, which is some good news for especially local travel. Now, we'll note that though following our Turkey Day forecast, there is going to be a cold front passage that's looking to be a dry passage, but it is going to bring some new cooler than normal temperatures for the rest of the weekend. So the setup that we have here as we roll into our Tuesday, the day starts off quiet, but we'll know quickly by the afternoon we have this low pressure system that is lifting north, and it brings that warmer flow with it. Again, right at onset, there could be still some cooler air through the local area, especially depending on elevation, that could allow for us to start at least that wintry mix. But then that system continues to lift in, which brings brings warming and will bring our high temperature to about 46 degrees, which is right on par for normal for this time of the year. Now, as the system lifts in, it's also going to bring some gusty winds. We're going to watch 25 to even 30-mile-per-hour gusts in place that will allow for that transition of that precipitation. So here we are Tuesday morning. We have that sunshine in place. Cloud cover, though, quickly increases by the mid-morning. And as it arrives, you can see some of that pink that's across the area moves over to mostly green by the end of the day. And there could even be some localized downpours. Now, within that pink, especially again through some elevation spots into the Finger Lakes, that could allow for some light snowfall accumulation or even some spotty icing. So slow down as that system pushes in. Use caution, especially as those roadways sometimes can just look wet, but they could be a bit slick. And then we will, though, see that transition to those rain showers, which does bring accumulation anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch upwards of about 1/2 an inch. That will keep us rainy potentially through the very early morning hours of our Wednesday. And then Wednesday will turn drier as well as bring in some of that warming. So as mentioned, that system does move in with that cooler air in place. So we see that once that system moves in, we're just going to be climbing above that freezing mark. But again, we're going to see warming continue to push into our Wednesday. Really not going to have much of a low into Wednesday morning. And by Wednesday, we have a high just around those mid-40s, and then we'll continue to see a mild day set up on Thursday with a high of 52 degrees, but then a quiet cold front will bring us back down into those 40s for the rest of the holiday weekend.